All right, so this is what, Sunday afternoon long weekend fights. Anyways, down in in Brett's basement there, we decided to do something thematic. So we're doing 1,200 points. This is the board. So the concept here with the board, because we're going to be doing we're doing sort of more of a theme list. So I'm pulling from Earth and Steel. He's pulling from Turning Tide. The idea is that over in that direction is the front, the beach landings. The Schellings only got this far, wrecking the house and this intersection. The Germans have sort of a supply depot, earthworks back here, sporadic. You can see the earthworks sort of continue off, covering the fields, that sort of thing. Some improvised earthworks up around where it's been shelled, and over there as well. I paid for 9, 10, 11, 12 sections of trench works in my list, and we're going to be doing airdrop. So gonna have I have the steadfast position. What's it called? Steadfast position infantry. Yeah, steadfast position.
Confident train.
They're confident trained Germans. Lots of just infantry and stuff. A couple of MG nests. We'll go through the list when we get started, and then I'm gonna be fighting off against British paras. So they're gonna be coming in,
For Canadian paras.
which are standing in for Canadian paras. So they're gonna be airdropping in, basically using the death from above scattered reserve rules. So they can come in from anywhere. So I've still built the board thematically so that it's, the earthworks were built with a purpose, but he's going to be able to airdrop. So he could very easily airdrop right in behind, come in from the earthworks from the rear, wherever he happens to come in or die. I'll just go through my list quick on the opening video. So like I said, it's the Bodenstandig, which is probably not pronounced right, Grenadier Company. So it's 2 Grenadier platoons with their Faust and stuff. A unit of 3 Pack 40s, a unit of 3 Stugs, Pioneer platoon with supply truck, so I can still place 2 minefields. I have 2 reluctant trained Luftwaffe 88s, Flak 36s. I have a 7.5 centimeter FK anti-tank pillbox, 2 HMG nests, and then my trench works. Everything's confident trained except for the reluctant Luftwaffe. So you'll see here, they'll stand out nicely on the board. So there's my little MG nests. I got 2 of them, and then this will be my 7.5 anti-tank bunker, which I'll deploy when we actually get down to deployment. And we're doing, what's the name of the scenario?
Deploy the bunkers before objectives, I think.
Okay.
Because they're part of.
What's the scenario we're doing?
I don't know if it's a modified season hold or if we're doing straight up death from above.
Okay, so we're gonna work that out.
Where the most current death from above.
His list is basically 2 units of paras, unit of para pioneers, airdropped artillery, airdropped recce, and something else. What's that other unit I missed?
Engineers, mortars. Recce, 6-pounders.
And unit of 6-pounders, AT. So he's all fearless vet. I'm all confident trained. So it's going to be interesting. It's very thematic. That's what we kind of wanted to place. It's 1,200 points, so it won't be too long. And we'll pick it up after deployment, start of turn 1.
We use night fighting rules
For every turn?
until turn 5 or whatever it is.
Oh, wow. Okay. So this is my list here. Just go over. So there's the AT bunker, 2 HMG nests, 2 the Flak 36s, unit of Pack 40s, unit of Stugs, Pioneers with supply truck, 2 Grenadier platoons, and the Rifle MG platoons, the Grenadiers here, and the command. Brett's running these guys here. So paratroopers with he's not running the 17 pounders, but he's got the 6 pounders there and the recce, and there's all the paratroopers he has painted up. Their little airdrop supply pieces. So he's just printing out the scenario now, so I will be deploying, and then he's going to be airdropping in all around me. So we'll pick it up once I'm deployed. So to explain the airdrops, you can see the arrow. That's the wind direction. So it's going across the board here. He also picked, this is his board edge, but the planes are coming in from here and going across. So he's choosing his stick drops. We got 1 IC in a platoon here dropping in. Got another one dropping in from here. So the way they basically will work is they'll drop in and go, next team, like as they drop off the plane as they go. And then he's got his 2 IC and his mortars airdropping from that position in. And now he has to choose his glider landings for his artillery and recce. And once those are determined, we will then start rolling to see where these guys scatter. So I'll pick it up once his stuff's on the board. We just rolled for his airdrops. These guys seem to be on target. We're just going to work that out. These guys as well. But his mortars with his 2IC and his recce, which were meant to drop in here, he rolled 1 or 2. So basically, he rolled 1s for both of them. That means they are off board. Their drop is so inaccurate that they're not on the board. And now they get placed into reserves, and he has to roll a 6 to get them to come in and then roll for where they come in. So they're basically, it's going to be dicey for him to, get it? Dicey? For him to get them to come in, because they're going to be held in reserve until they can. So he's now getting his containers. So he drops the container. So as you can see, the container, I guess this one's for these guys?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's his container. He rolls a...
So it's 3 times 6 is 18.
3 times 6 is 18, so the wind direction, right?
Yeah, well, wind direction is that way, same as my flight plan. So that so this diagram has the wind at an angle to the flight line, but in this case, it's actually
you just rolled
the same.
that it's parallel.
It's just randomly the same. So I picked the flight. No, you picked the wind direction first. So then I just happened to.
You lucked out. So
yeah. So instead of scattering to it, on an angle, it's just all in the same row from the.
But that 3 times 6 means
it's placed.
That container gets placed 18 inches from your selected point.
Now my command team gets placed a different distance.
So there's the container.
I have no weapons until one team from my platoon touches that. And then instantly everyone's basically able to fight.
Okay.
So I hopefully will not scatter
too far down
board. If I roll a 6, I start putting dudes here. I'll probably lose teams, and I got to go probably 2 turns to get to that thing. So
wow, okay.
This is where I roll for the.
So this is a very important roll. Good thing I'm filming.
And remember, I go 4 inches to the side of to where the drop point actually is. So it almost lands in your trench.
Yeah, he's basically coming right in on top of my fortifications.
So then my guys go 2. So
12
that's
12. 2. So 12 inches.
So that's
12 inches from where? 12 inches from here or 12 inches from the container?
No, the container drops separately.
Oh, okay.
So 12 inches from my drop point. But I go 4 inches. One sticks 4 inches to the left. The other sticks 4 inches to the right. So basically, I'm in the...
Are you hung up on the house?
So that's
your chute gets stuck on the house?
Nice. Well, that's what I gotta do for casualties. So there's rules for rolling for casualties and stuff. So I don't know how that works. So we'll figure that out. Probably 1 or 2 I die.
Well, those guys, we have to work out their casualties too, right? The ones you rolled 1s for.
Yep.
Something about casualties.
Yes, but I'm going to deploy first. So
okay.
So then it's every 6 inches.
So they come down, boom, boom, boom. Every 6 inches, they're sprayed out. Now you're going to have weapons almost right away. However, you're deploying.
Well, you go first, but you're pinned, so it'll be interesting.
You're right on top of my HMG.
You unpin, then it's like
you're right on top of my HMG nest there.
Yep, I am.
And right onto my supply depot. So they're very accurate. They're landing right in amongst the German base.
Yeah.
Basically. From a narrative standpoint.
Right, so just make sure
so they came in from here. And then dropping boom, 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 sticks like that.
Yeah, so 6.
Very cool. All right, so we'll pick it up once okay, so German deployment. So half my platoons are held in reserve. I have 6 because my fortifications don't count. So I'm deploying 3. So I chose to deploy 2 infantry grenadier platoons and the 88s. So in reserve, I have a pioneer platoon, Pack 40s, and Stoogs. The pioneer platoon paid for 3 sections of barbed wire, so I deployed those now. These are what the barbed wire sections are, because we don't have them. So there's one here. As I zoom out, you can see there's one across the road, and there's one here. I basically deploy them again. We're playing it characterful, so I'm trying to play as if I'm assuming an assault is coming this way. I'm not expecting an airdrop, so I'm deploying that way. So I have a line of grenadiers deployed along here through the trench works, right across, covering sort of the intersection. One is actually contesting that objective, which the attacker can pull one of them that he placed, and that's one of the ones he placed, so he could pull it. I have a pillbox here, covering this flank, the open cornfields. I have another pillbox here, covering this objective that I placed, and the 88s are centrally placed in behind some earthworks, with another grenadier platoon around my 1IC, that's sort of his command area. And then this is the other objective here. So these guys are very close to be able to fall back if I need to contest it. So that's what I have deployed. Oh, and this bunker right here, that's my AT bunker. So it's kind of deployed in the back. Again, I was deploying it as if there was sort of a supply depot type idea here, and the allies are coming from that side. So it may hurt me in the end, but this isn't a tournament. So it should be interesting. Now we get to see how allies airdrop on top of me. They've all landed. This stick dropped right in down along here. He lost some teams landing on terrain.
Here, here.
Yeah, guy landed in the hedges. Another guy landed in the fuel depot. Another guy actually dropped right into the woods on top of one of my teams.
One guy dropped here, died. One guy dropped here and died.
Yeah, so he lost a few teams from that stick. Yeah. This stick ended up dropping here. Boom, boom, boom. All he lost was the commander.
And the dude in the road.
Oh, and a dude on the road there.
Actually, I might have lost another. It was a fair number, actually.
His AT guns ended up trying to land here, but scattered so far. One gun and the commander dropped there, and the rest are off board, of which he only lost one. So those two will be coming back. This is what's left of his recce.
That's two IC.
Two IC and the recce. The rest of the recce died. And then that's what's left of the mortars, because they went off and he lost a stand. So he lost one mortar from casualties off board as well. So that's where he dropped off. Any of his teams that are within 2 inches of me will have to move out. But I go first. Well, I go next, and all my units are considered pinned. So I basically start my turn rallying everything. I do get to roll for reserves. My armor comes in last, so I'll roll for reserves. And I rolled a 5. So I'll bring on my pioneers using scattered reserves. Believe it or not, even though it looks like I'm kind of defending here against this stuff, this is worked out now as my table edge because the attacker can choose his edge. He chose this. So I use scattered reserves. I'm going to have a unit of pioneers coming on. We'll call it 1-2 here. I'm coming on from this corner. So I'm going to be, pioneers are going to be coming on this way. Okay, so bottom of the German turn. First thing I had to do was roll for reserves, which you saw. So they came on, pioneers, and shot into there, killing a stand. This grenadier platoon stayed pinned, fired in this way. Got some hits, but didn't cause any casualties. So this platoon is pinned. Rallying this platoon rallied. They're not pinned, but the guns are pinned.
The guns still have 360, right? They can shoot.
Yeah, I didn't shoot. I did some shooting, killed I think 2 stands.
You want to return them and shoot?
Well, I'll leave them for now. It's fine. So I did some shooting there. Pinned that unit as well. Oh no, I didn't get enough hits to pin over there, did I?
Or you pinned these guys?
Yeah, they're pinned. Yeah.
You missed these guys.
I didn't shoot at the end. I missed with one pot shot at them. So that's the end of my turn. The HMG nest here actually fired and didn't do too well, but got extra hits to help pin. So that's about it. So that's, I guess, the bottom of turn 1. We have an understrength grenadier infantry platoon here, para platoon here. We have another severely understrength one in the back there. His engineers are pretty good. They're going to be working on that objective. I'm going to have to try. Unfortunately, these guys pinned. My idea was to try and fall back on that objective with this grenadier platoon, but can't do it this turn. So that's it for bottom of turn 1, I guess, technically. And we'll pick it up from there. So end of the turn. Pioneers came on here, shot, killed a stand. My guys turned around, fired into these guys, killed one stand, and then launched an assault and killed the other at the cost of 2 grenadier stands. So it wasn't... Well, I guess at the end it was 2 for 2, but...
My guys are probably twice the price of yours.
Yeah, you guys are definitely more expensive. So he fell back, consolidated back here. And that's where it stands.
So yeah, so this platoon had 9 to begin with. 4 died on the landing, and 2 died in the defender's first turn. So we're down to 3.
Right.
The platoon commander, 1 team, and a PIAT.
That's right.
This team here has lost a couple on the buildings, but otherwise hasn't been hit. And the platoon out there lost their leader on the...
On the airdrop, they lost their commander, and then they lost a PIAT to my shooting.
Yeah, and they lost at least one other guy in the cratered roadway there.
Yeah.
So they're above half, but don't have a leader right now. So
I can see 5 stands for that unit, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, looks like there's 5 stands right there.
So they must have lost an additional Piat.
Oh, sorry, 6 stands. They have 6 stands.
Yeah,
1, 2,
so they would have
3, 4,
lost
5, 6.
2 Piats and a...
So that's where it is at the end of the turn.
Yeah.
We'll pick it up at the end of the next turn. Okay, so we finished the second full turn. Not a lot happened. His mortars came on and fired in, then realized that... they did kill a team. Yeah. He fell back over here because of the assault and continued to fall back just to get out of my line of sight. They still haven't gotten to the thing to pick up their weapons yet.
And they're pinned.
And they're pinned now from my shooting. On my turn, I repositioned to cover his cache, which is under my model there. So his engineer platoon only has pistols until they get to the canister that's under my team in the woods there. So I'm preventing his engineers from getting any better than pistols. This platoon here has to get back to this canister, or they just have pistols. I've advanced to try and get on top of it to basically make all these guys just be pistol teams. He lost his command stand for this platoon, so they can't move or fire until someone comes and gives them a leader because they don't have mission tactics. So that's kind of interesting. His guns came on over here. This is their ammunition canister. We did this wrong. They were meant to be glider landed, but he did them as airdrop instead. Or sorry, they could have been glider landed, but he did them as airdrop instead.
I don't think they're allowed to be paradrop, but I started getting into the para groove, and then I forgot what I was doing, and I just did them all as paras.
Right. If you want, we can count them as having their ammunition. I don't mind.
No, it would be either they'd be at the crossroads with ammunition, or off to the side without. So it seems like that's equivalent. Them being way over there with nothing to do is equivalent to them being around the mix of things with something to do. So I figured.
I did a bunch of shooting, basically just pinning his 2 units. Not kill. I don't think I even killed a stand. I failed every single firepower roll I had to make. My packs came on. I got reserves again. They came on and shot. SMG, couple quick little pack shots. They, again, did nothing. He successfully dug in this unit. So that actually saved him. Saved his bacon on that. Was digging in. Because I think I got 5 or 6 hits. So, and I think he failed 3 or 4 saves.
I failed like all the time.
Yeah, so you're digging in definitely saves you.
all around for saves and firepower tests.
Yeah, so that's it. That turn. We'll pick it up at the end of the next turn. You unpinned over there. So quick recap. Did some shooting over there. Killed off another stand. Pinned them. He rallied. He's going to collect his gear. My platoon of engineers here advanced, shot, assaulted, killed the stand, and pushed into the center board. And the rest of my shooting was a complete non-event. I missed more than I hit. He's dug in pretty much all over the place, so I needed 6s most of the time. He is picking up his canister.
First canister.
So those 2 teams, the one in the trench line and this one, now have regular weapons. The rest of his guys are still pistoleros, except for the mortars. And I wasn't able to unpin this unit along the middle again. So they've been pinned the whole game, so I can't fall back or push up and try and take that canister. So they're kind of just rocking in the middle. And that's it for that turn. So we just have the mortars on the flank. As we pan across, he's got 1 IC behind the hedge there. He's got the 2 teams left from that platoon. I've still got the bulk of my Grenadier platoon and the 88s there. Another Grenadier platoon right across the front here that are still pinned. And an Engineer platoon here. My packs there. I failed to get my Stoogs in. And his 6-pounders are slowly moving up. He ran out his commander. So the next turn he's going to be getting ammunition for his 6-pounder. Okay, so bottom of the 4th turn, my Stoogs came on, machine gunned and killed 1 of the mortars. Moving across the board, this platoon did not unpin after the assault last turn, so they stuck in there, shot into these guys, did nothing. These guys actually did rally, finally, the Grenadier platoon in the middle. So they shimmied along the front line. I stepped out, fired into his guns, didn't hit. Actually was able to assault with a stand and just lost a stand. So I actually just lost a guy on my own turn and got nothing in return. Repositioned these guys here, fired in, and actually killed the guy that was on there. So these guys are now leaderless.
So I got
These guys are leaderless.
One dead platoon, so these guys are dead.
Oh, and I killed off this platoon that was back in the trench line.
Did you
two
skip my
stands
turn?
left. No, that was your turn.
No, did you film after my turn?
No, I'm filling at the end of the whole turn.
Yeah.
So he picked up the canister.
I didn't do much.
Yeah, and you reallocated a leader, picked up the canister. You had 2 teams left here.
And then you killed them.
My shooting killed them off because I basically main gun, HMG.
It was the same shooting that survived, but it didn't.
Yeah.
Didn't
So finally the shooting went through.
Yeah.
But he has his engineers over there that don't have any weapons beyond pistols. They're dug in and gone to ground.
Nothing has weapons. Guns don't have guns.
Yeah, this team's canisters over here, so
Those
they
guys
only
are
have
below
pistols.
Are they below half?
This has 4 stands.
They lost 2 on the drop, so
yeah,
they're 3 to 4.
They're still okay. My shooting here did basically just killed that one stand. So it's at the point now where I have this goes live turn 6. So basically, I just have to position either this platoon or this platoon to contest that. Because he has engineers with pistols, so I just have to sit on it, right? Really, and that'll be...
Well, you have to make sure I don't push you off or whatnot.
Right,
but, yeah.
But you have pistols, so...
But I mean, you broke off from that fight. So
yeah.
It doesn't... Pistols aren't great, but...
Yeah. The scenario's been very harsh on the British.
No, it's been good.
But it's very interesting. It's a totally different type of game. It's kind of fun.
Up the airline,
but that's it for now. So it's bottom of 4 now. Sorry, I was wrong. It was top of 4 when I was filming last time. So Bret finished his turn off. His 2IC came out of the woods, assaulted the tank. A little bit of back and forth. I ended up hitting him. And
you made your saves.
I made my save. Made one save.
And then you killed me.
I ended up killing him, but he was just within 6 inches of the observer here, so I failed my 4-up kill him roll, so he switched over to there. I did a little out of turn, but we're going to break here, and there'll be the part 2 of this will be on Friday, because we're going to pick this up Friday. We haven't actually been playing that long, but with dinner and everything else intermixed, kids, it slowed down. But these guys, so at the top, we're at the top of turn 5 now, and all that's happened is I rolled morale. That's it. So for the record, and this video will be posted before Friday, so you'll have to wait to see part 2, but these guys rallied, and this platoon, which I was hoping could fall back to the objective, did not. So the only pinned unit I have is the one that matters. But I basically have 2 turns to contest this. His engineers, again, for the record, are in these buildings, but they do not have their canister, which is still there. So because they don't have their canister, they have pistols, and they cannot launch assaults. This unit here as well never got its canister, which was back here. So they have pistols and cannot launch assaults. The guns, canisters here, lost their command team, so they can't move, have pistols, and can't launch assaults. And his engineers finally did arrive, the one last team that didn't die from dropping out of their planes. Sorry, Recce. But they don't have their leader either, so they moved on the board, sit there. They have their regular guns, but they can't launch assaults or move because there's no command team. So he, first run of the pair has been very rough on the para player, but it's been very...
it feels like a totally different game.
It feels like a completely different type game.
Scenario.
But it's very characterful. Like, we're not playing with a tournament mindset or trying to score victory points or anything. It's just playing the scenario. I'm trying to basically, my guys were all pinned at the beginning of the game because they weren't expecting it. So it was really kind of neat because he just dropped right in on top of me. Literally, like, to the point where he was on top of my guys turn 1. He was right on top of me turn 1.
Guys died because they landed on top of enemy teams.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. If you land on an enemy team, you die. If you land on a rough terrain, you die. So he's landing on these hedges, dying.
4 up.
Yeah, on a 4-up, you die if you land. So he's landing on the roofs of houses and failing his 4-up saves. So he lost probably a good 20% of his force just airdropping. So, but we'll pick it up the next 2 turns because this goes live. This one goes live. The 2 objectives go live turn 6. So we're starting top of 5. So we've got a couple turns to try and contest. I may have to run someone out just to contest it this turn. Because if I move it the double, you only have pistols. You can't really hit me.
You can't move it the double through terrain, and you can't move the double and then contest.
Yeah. So
your options are semi-limited, but you have options.
Yeah. So anyways, we'll pick it up from there. Stay tuned.